A man has finally been charged with the murder of UK rapper Morrison's brother, 5 years after the brutal stabbing that shook their family and left unanswered questions lingering in the streets of Epping and London. Stephen Morrison, a 30-year-old father, was left to die in a shell garage forecourt after a violent confrontation in a nearby car park. Now, police say they've made a breakthrough 5 years later, and the Morrison family may finally get the justice they've been searching for. This is the full story of loss, loyalty, and a long-awaited charge. Stephen Morrison was described by his family as larger than life. He was full of energy, known for his humor and presence. His mother called him a tornado breezing into any room, lighting it up. He was the kind of man who looked after everyone around him. A loving father, a protective brother, a son who mattered. He had dreams, responsibilities, and a future he was robbed of. At just 30 years old, Stephen had so much more to offer. His sister Charlotte said, "He always looked after me. You don't realize how happy someone was until they're gone." On the night of June 23, 2020, Stephen was stabbed during a confrontation in a car park in Epping, Essex. Seriously injured, he somehow managed to get into his car and drive away. He made it to a nearby shell garage and collapsed at the forecourt. A passing nurse rushed over and performed CPR. Paramedics arrived shortly after, but it was too late. Stephen died in hospital from his injuries. The attack happened just before 8 p.m, and within minutes, the crime scene was swarming with police and forensics. Stephen's final moments were witnessed by shocked members of the public, and the footage would later become key to the investigation. Police launched a full-scale investigation into Stephen Morrison's murder. Over the years, they made a total of 14 arrests, but for a long time, no one was charged. Detectives reviewed over 200 hours of CCTV footage. They examined 50 mobile phones and 40 digital devices, and they kept returning to the same conclusion: the answers lie within certain groups of people in London. That's what Essex police strongly believe. But those answers weren't coming easily. 5 of the 14 arrested were released with no further action to remain under investigation, and 7 were bailed. Despite the pressure, Morrison's family never gave up. Stephen's mother and sister made emotional public appeals for justice, and police secured a £10,000 Crime Stoppers reward. That meant people could come forward anonymously with any information. But still, the case remained unsolved 4 years, until now. After 5 years of silence and frustration, a breakthrough came. On July 8, 2025, a 28-year-old man was arrested in Feltham, West London. His name, Jonas Germer. The next day, the Crown Prosecution Service charged him with the murder of Stephen Morrison. Germer, from Hounslow Road in Hanworth, appeared before Southend Magistrates Court. This is the first official murder charge in the case since 2020. Police say it came after detectives examined over 200 hours of CCTV footage, 50 mobile phones, and 40 digital devices. They described the arrest as a significant step forward, but not the end. Stephen Morrison was more than just another statistic. He was a father, a brother, a man who meant everything to his family. His life was cut short in the most violent way, and for 5 years, his name faded from headlines, but it never left the hearts of those who loved him. Now, with a murder charge finally made, there's hope that justice is finally catching up. Morrison once called Stephen his twin, and now he's one step closer to seeing justice served. Stephen didn't get to see his son grow up. He didn't get to grow old with his family, but his name lives on, and the fight for answers isn't over yet. Rest in peace, Stephen Morrison. Justice is long, but it's coming. You've been watching World News Watch, bringing you real stories, real people, and the truth behind the headlines. Don't forget to subscribe for more.